What's up, people? Perry here with another episode of Surviving Creatively. And if you noticed, there is a new opening to the show. I decided to kind of use my video editing skills, put them to use, try to make something a little bit different, a little bit, I don't know, stylish, I guess you could say. I wanted something simple just to kind of open the show, and you know, I want to be able to show a little bit of professionalism when it comes to my videos, and hopefully, you know what, I'm slowly learning about this whole video editing and all that good stuff. I think that I'm trying to basically up my game a little bit, as so to speak, when it comes to video editing, because you know what, with my show and the other shows that are going to be coming up, I think that I would like to try and inject some style into it, more so than what I've been doing before, which has not been much. But anyways, welcome to the show. How you guys doing? I'm doing just great. My baby is expected pretty much any day right now. She's pretty much to term, so any day now we'll have a new baby to take care of. It's my first. So anyways, you can see that there's a whole lot of mess out here, and that is because I have been messing around with Redstone. Yep. And that's probably why this episode has been taking so long to get out. It's only because I wanted to create some sort of a custom type thing for my warehouse. And the idea behind it was that I wanted to keep it simple, but at the same time, I wanted some automated functions to it. And this is what I've come up with thus far. I know you guys don't really watch me for the whole redstoning thing, but I will show you just a little bit about how it works. And hopefully you can take this and use this in your own world. I think, you know what I really want to do is that at the end of all this, when I'm done with the warehouse and the vault that's down there, I haven't really worked on it much, but when it's all said and done, I'd like to put this up for download for you guys to kind of explore it a little bit more further. So hopefully I'll remember to do that. And if you guys are interested, leave a comment down below whether or not you would like to see that. And when I'm done with it, be sure to remind me to do that, because I tend to forget those type of things. yeah. But yeah, so let's take a look at how this whole thing works. Now, it's a whole bunch of hoppers, and from what I can tell, it's been kind of laggy on the system. I mean, I have an i5. You can see it's right here, i5, and I have a GeForce GTX 650 Ti, which is, I would say, solidly in the mid-range of computers as of right now. But as you can see, I'm getting about 50 frames per second and all that stuff. If I go outside, I get a steady 120, but in here there's a bit of lag, which is, and I'm also recording, so that kind of adds to it. But I think that this system will work out just fine for us. Of course, I'm playing in creative mode, so there's probably little to no chance that I'll be using it, but I really enjoy kind of coming up with a concept that kind of works with what we have going on here. So like I said, let's take a quick look at it and how it works. Basically, what I have here is a set of 6 hoppers, and this allows us, there's 5 slots in each hopper, and I figured that would be more than enough to kind of accommodate all the things in our inventory. So what you would do is, after a long hard day at mining, you basically come here, and I'll have like a stream of water coming down, sort of like this. And what you would do is you come up here and then just dump all the items that you want to sort away into here. And then the idea behind it is that it goes through these hoppers and around this whole little circuit thing. And it looks pretty cool. It took me a while to kind of figure out the flow of it and how I wanted it to kind of progress along. But I think this looks pretty good in terms of what I want for design. But in each of these hoppers, and what makes this thing work properly is that is the whole hopper slash comparator thing, and you can see that right here. With the comparator, it holds something like 22 items, and then if the 23rd item comes in, it gets filtered down into the chests. And that's all stuff that it's all Redstone stuff that I looked up on YouTube. If you want to know more about that, I'll put a link in the description of where I found how to do this whole thing. If you're wondering how to do it, I'm sure most of you know how to do it anyways, because you guys are all smart guys. So it's pretty easy. It's pretty simple, but it does the job for me. And basically all it does is it sorts out all the different items that we can put in here. It's really nice. It's really practical in my opinion. And then down here, let's take a look down here. We have the pickup room, I guess you could say. I haven't worked on it that much yet. We're going to mainly concentrate on the upper area. I've yet to take that away. I should really clean up my world a little bit. There's a lot of MC edits and episode whatever's all over the place. I should really clean up my messes. Clean up my messes. That's a lesson for you kids out there. But down here we will kind of, I'm thinking some sort of pickup room, some sort of area where all the sorting ends up, of course, because of the fact that once the items get sorted, they all get transferred down into these hoppers, and it just filters all the way down till it reaches the end. And I think, I'm not too sure what design I'm going to use just yet, and this is just a basic design. This is not like a final type of design. I'm trying to figure out what would work best so that I could design around it. So there's an option here to kind of make it at eye level. That would be pretty cool. Or I could make it down here, and then that leaves us more room to kind of design upwards like so. But what we're going to do is we're going to concentrate on this part right here. Now the idea behind it is that I want to try and cover this up. Going to be a little bit of a difficult task, but the simplest way to do it is just to cover it over with, I guess, stone brick or whatever block we choose. But I do want to focus on a couple of things, and this is what we're going to do in this episode, is that I want to concentrate on making an entrance somewhere over here for our vault. Of course, there'll be an entrance to the actual keep itself somewhere over here, and then there'll be another focal point for us to pay attention to right here, which is our sorting area with a place where we dump off all of our items. The middle part, I'm not too sure what I'm going to do with. I may have to cover it up, possibly go with some glass or something like that. I don't know. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go away, come up with some sort of a concept, and when we come back, hopefully I'll have some sort of an idea going. So I'll see you in just a little bit. All right, some updates for you from when I last left you. You can see that I have put in some stone bricks just to cover up the hoppers because they are a little bit of an eyesore. So I thought putting in the stone bricks would be a good idea. Give us a little bit of a clean slate and all that good stuff. The orange wool, of course, is temporary, as it always is when I'm going through this whole planning process. I've also moved the item offload location over there. Used to be here. And the reason for that is that this is designated as the entrance to the vault. And I'm thinking about putting in some sort of slime block elevator that gets you up and down this area right here. And what this allows us to do is it allows us to kind of free up some space in the middle. Also, you know, it gives us a cleaner look at the entrance to the vault, because of course it's going to be of somewhat importance to try and build around it. So I relocated it over here, and the other reason why it would be a good idea to relocate it here is because of that this is the entrance to the keep. So I'm thinking after a long hard day at mining and gathering resources, you come over to the item offload area, and it's pretty much the first thing that you see when you walk in. So it'd be a good idea to kind of just offload your items first and then do whatever else you need to do after. Now you can see this right here. These are some arches that go across. I'm thinking about maybe connecting them together, sort of like in this fashion. I'm not too sure how I'm going to do it. Possibly with MC Edit, we'll figure out some sort of dome type shape to kind of connect them all together. I'm thinking about cathedrals and the way they're shaped. It might be a good idea to follow that type of design. Of course, I'll add some modern touches to it, maybe my own personal style to it. I'm also thinking about maybe putting in some arches on the diagonal. Now, if you know anything about putting in things on the diagonal in Minecraft, they can be a little bit tedious in order to figure out, and that's because of the whole Pythagorean theorem thing, the whole math thing, the fact that blocks, if you take a look at a block, if you measure this line or this line, they're pretty much the same length, except when you go on the diagonal from here to here, that's actually a longer line compared to the other two. So measuring out, I think the width of this right here is about 9 blocks. Over here, if I was to make the same arch over here, it would not be 9 blocks in length. You can't just count off 9 blocks going across. You have to take into account the fact that on the diagonal, it's a much longer than it is going, say, north-south or east-west. So that will take a little bit of doing to kind of figure out, but I think it would be a good idea to do that, just to add in a little bit of detail, because right here, this little empty space, it's not really working with my eye. So I'm thinking about making an arch going across here, possibly some sort of dome type shape. And I think that I'm not too sure what I'm going to do with the middle area. Possibly add in some furnaces, maybe some type of workload or workstation type areas. Multiple workstation areas. Obviously, I can't just put in one workstation because that would be ridiculous. Why would you put in one workstation when you can have 20 of them in the same area? But it's all about Pal's life, living the life, So I'm gonna go away for a little bit. I'll be back with another update. All right, so here's a whole bunch of other updates that I've got done so far. One of the things is adding in this glass, this light gray stained glass, and it's pretty cool because of the fact that I'm slowly converting the palace over to our default texture pack, and I've been getting some work done in terms of that, because there's a lot of blocks that don't really work with my eye when I converted over to this default texture pack. One of them is the glass, and with the regular glass, it doesn't look that great, in my opinion. A little bit too much texture there. I prefer a much more cleaner look to it, so I went with the light gray glass, and you can see it's much more dull in terms of the coloring, but it is semi-opaque, so I can't see clearly through it, but that's not too much of an issue. I can still see most of the things as I look through here, so it's not that bad. It's a good compromise when it comes to trying to figure out a decent substitute for this glass. But the other things that I've been working on is this right here, the item offload area. One of the things that I've figured out as we've been going along here is that it takes a really long time to offload materials. I mean, take a look at that. It takes a really long time to kind of shuttle all the items down into the hoppers and then off into the storage system. So it doesn't go that far right now. It just goes right up to here. Just because I haven't arranged the storage system just yet. But it's a little slow for my liking, and I think for practicality's sake, I might have to go with something a little bit faster. I have seen sort of transporting items via water, or possibly, what's it called? Those shooters where they, I call them shooters. I don't know what they're actually called. Droppers, no, dispensers. So maybe with something with dispensers might help, but I do want to find a more reliable way to get items around, and it should be a little bit quicker than this. I mean, it's still offloading items, but we'll see. So the next thing that we're going to do is, you can see right here, I've actually made the arches a little bit larger in size, well, much larger in size, and that was because when I was trying to design the diagonal arches, it wasn't really working with what I wanted to do. I wanted to keep it kind of clean looking, and so making them larger in this shape so that they kind of meet at one point down here. You can kind of see what I'm talking about, but it works better with my eye, and I think it gives it a much more clean type look. Now, the next issue that I'm working on is trying to figure out how to join them all together. Now, I was talking about putting in some sort of an arch, but I don't think that would work as of right now, mainly because it's a little bit of a complex geometry to get all this stuff done. I mean, working on a diagonal for these arches was bad enough. Try figuring out an archway going across here. It's a little bit of a task. So I'm going to try and keep it simple. If we have time, or if I can find a better way of trying to, make that arch, I will go ahead and do that. But right now, what I'm trying to do is trying to figure out this whole thing. I do want to add in some color, and I'm thinking that this yellow brick, this yellow stained clay will do the trick for us, and that is because I'm thinking about what type of colors will work with this right here. I think that the yellow stained clay will work because of the fact it's a brighter color. I don't want to go with something darker. The vault itself is a dark type color, and I wanted to go with more of a lighter feel up here because, I feel it should be like a lighter type of mood up here, whereas down there in the vault, it's more dark, more murky, more mysterious. So no mysteries up here, but we do want to try and figure out how to put in this stained clay. Now, how it's going to work is that going across from here to here, it just goes across like so. So I'll just demonstrate it real quickly. So it comes out to here, or goes all the way across like so, and then same thing over here, something like that. They're not really lined up. That's okay. I'll just use this for an example's sake. But over here, we have to go on the diagonal, and that presents itself with a whole host of other problems, because now we're trying to build on the diagonal, and the blocks don't really line up the way you want it to. So I want to try and do that right now. I mean, I'm just trying to follow the way this kind of juts out like this. You're basically putting them just like this. So if I follow along with the blocks, perhaps it'll work. Maybe not. I don't know. It's all a matter of trying and seeing what works, what doesn't work. Let's try this way. Here we go. Okay. Let's take a step back. Now see, we got some gaps right here. We'll have to plug that up, perhaps by doing this, like so. I'm not going to worry too much about the outside of the archways. I'm mainly concerned of what it looks like on the inside. So, I mean, that's okay. That's not too bad. And now it's all a process of just extending this out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go off into MC Edit, and then I'll be able to better kind of extrapolate all these shapes, so that I don't know, maybe we'll come up with some sort of a look, and then when we come back, hopefully I'll have a kind of a finished concept. So I'll see you in just a little bit. All right, are you ready for this? Oh yeah, look at that. man, I love it when a plan comes together. You know what? At first, I was thinking to myself, you know what? This is probably not the best way to go. I'm not too sure about this design. But then when I went into MC Edit and I kind of extrapolated all the shapes out and made them, I guess, come to real life, if that makes any sense to you. But to me, you know what, this is a real personal high for me, is whenever I go through the design process and I stumble across something that looks really awesome and really interesting. This is what we end up with. This looks pretty cool to me. Now, I was thinking that I would sort of light up the area a little bit, but I really like how the shadows are right now, how the light kind of lights up certain areas, but we got some shadows like right there and throughout the blocks. I don't know. It's just one of those moments where I'm thinking this is pretty cool. But this is probably what I'm going to end up with in terms of the roof line structure. The outside doesn't look that great. Of course, we'll have to figure out something. Actually, you know what? It doesn't look that bad. I don't mind it. But we'll have to add in some more details here and there. This is a good, basic start for us. I think that as we go along, we'll be adding in more details here and there. There's some little bits to clean up. But in terms of the overall look, this is exactly what I'm looking for. I can't tell you how like happy I feel whenever some of these designs kind of work out the way that they do. But hey, it's a natural high. I'm not too sure what I'm going to do with this skylight, but all this stuff we'll have to do with in the next episode. Obviously, we'll have lots of work to do here. I'm still not too sure what we're going to put in this area. I was thinking some sort of workstation, but again, all the materials just go down there, and it seems more practical to make some sort of workstations down there. So we'll have to see. Of course, that's going to be it for this episode. Don't forget to hit that like button if you so choose. Don't forget to leave your comments on anything you see in this episode down below. Or if you don't see anything in this episode or you're looking for something, let me know in the comments, of course. And if you're new to this channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Keeps you up to date on all the fantastic things that are going on in it. So that's it for me. Always remember, keep your head up, and I'll see you in the next one.